everybody, welcome back to our channel. मैं हूँ नेहा. कैसे हो आप सब? तो today we are आज हम देखने जा रहे हैं why India drinks so much of chai. Parotta act and this video is by Nirmal Pillai. और this person मतलब इनको His videos have been मतलब मैं बहुत ज़्यादा इनके शॉर्ट्स देख के इनके चैनल पे गई थी एक्चुअली. तो इनके शॉर्ट वीडियो देख के इनके चैनल पे गई थी मैं. क्या कंटेंट बनाते हैं भाई साहब. दैट मतलब ऐसा कंटेंट की आपने पहले कभी नहीं देखा होगा. और ऐसा कंटेंट है. और वन ऑफ हिज फाइनेस्ट कंटेंट थिंग ये वाला वीडियो जो अभी हम देख रहे हैं. तो मैं तो बहुत ज़्यादा एक्साइटेड हूँ. सो लेट्स सी हाउ दिस वीडियो बाय निर्मल पिल्लाई इज गोइंग टू बी. चलिए देखते हैं.
India, land of culture. A land of 1.8 billion people, or a land of 1.8 billion addicts.
अच्छा.
Is it drugs? Nice joke. This is something far more dangerous, far more potent, and far more delicious. Look at this man who hasn't gotten his fix yet. He has become so dependent, so attached that he will remain in that same place until the moment that he gets his first hit.
Chai.
My day can't start without it. Get up. Minimum 3 times.
What is this wonder drug? How did it ever come to us? How did it grip an entire nation that the words on everybody's mouth at 4 p.m. in the evening are without a doubt always Chata, 2 tea.
Actually the Malayali, yes. Yes. बहुत क्रिएटिव है यार लेकिन ये बंदा मुझे बहुत सही लगा.
It's no secret that we Indians really love tea. I mean, we even named one of our most famous monuments after tea. There are more tea stalls per unit area than unit areas. Every time a new street is built, a new tea store is already there. It's like when you buy a new Android phone and MX Taka is already pre-installed on it. You didn't ask for it, but it's there.
Samsung, connecting people. Do what you say.
In fact, scientists at ISRO have actually said that the real reason that India has not yet gone to the moon is because there's no gravity, so you can't do the waterfall thingy to artify the chai.
Wow. Okay.
Sure.
Gravity only or pandara.
And sometimes people ask this stupid question.
So, are you like a tea person or a coffee person?
And that is stupid because once you date someone, you drink coffee because where do you go? You go to a coffee shop. But once you break up, you are at a tea stall drinking tea and crying to your homies. Acha, avan vittu poitara. Parala kudi. Sigma. And even though it's a British thing, we made it our own, like cricket. First we added milk, then we added masala, then we made it kadak, even though it's liquid because fuck physics, fuck principles of fluid mechanics. H.C. Verma crying there. But the story behind how this beverage found its way into our masala-infested stomachs is a story involving the Chinese Empire, the East India Company, and a shrewd botanist who inadvertently became a secret agent. Can I just say became Tom Cruise? Is that okay? Don't do that. So let's get this party started.
Yeah, I got it.
Party.
Yes.
Oh, okay. We are not making any of this up. India has the largest tea drinking population in the world.
Yeah.
It's also the second largest tea grower in the world. Second only to China. But you know, it's low quality. Guys, clearly that's a joke. Nirmal does not endorse defaming a country, especially sovereign ones like China. There are some really interesting patterns about tea drinkers which was found by the Tea Board of India, which I assume looks like this. No, not this. No, not this. No, none of these. There's so many of these. Anyway, we are going to present this in the format of quick facts.
Okay.
What happened? Too quick for you? I'll ask this in surprise test, so be careful. You see, the story of how we got to this stage in advanced tea consumption is a story that begins, like most stories with us, with the British.
Okay.
You see, for the longest time, tea was being grown in China, and in England, it was this very exclusive, high-class commodity, and they got addicted, really addicted. Tea was considered so precious that in 1662, when King Charles II married the Portuguese princess Catherine of Braganza, this person, her dowry consisted of a chest of tea and the island of Bombay for an annual lease of 10 pounds, equivalent then to the cost of 1 pound of tea in England. Let me put that in perspective for you. The city of Mumbai, where I can't afford a 1 BHK for myself, was considered equal to this. The fuck? Can you imagine if this went down in India today? Not the news channel.
ഇതാണ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ മോന്. ഇതാണ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ മോള്. അതൊക്കെ ശരി, എന്തൊക്കെ കൊടുക്കും? 1800 കൊടുക്കാം. പിന്നെ ഡൽഹി വേണം. അത് ഭയങ്കര പൊല്യൂഷൻ. ചെന്നൈ, അയ്യോ അത് ഭയങ്കര തണുപ്പാ. ബാംഗ്ലൂർ നല്ല ഭയങ്കര ചൂട്. ഒരു നിമിഷം, ആ ചായ ഒന്ന് എടുക്കാവോ? ശരി.
And the story begins with, oh, I think someone's at the door. Oh shit, okay, sorry. By the 18th century, there was a war between the English and the Dutch, and England's resources were really getting depleted. So the English were unable to afford the silver that they were trading with China to get the tea. And apart from that, China was uninterested in anything that Britain was offering.
I think we should just be friends.
Macha, she rejected me, da.
Shut up, Tutti.
Until they discovered something that China did want. Drugs.
I mean,
I'm serious. Britain started growing opium in India and smuggled it to China in return for tea. For tea. And I don't know if you're history buffs, but China literally had a war and an opioid epidemic because of this. And who sold them the opium? The British literally grew drugs in our backyard because they wanted some chai time. Yeah, this is what they did this for. Not gonna lie though, worth it. Hey, guys, he's clearly joking again. And they grew this opium in the backyards of India. Hey, Macha, can I use your backyard for a while? Why would I let you do that? That's all, How long we've been friends? This is how you treat me. Okay, fine. I mean, you could. Also, you only work on it, no? Like slaves, please. But you need it. Why would I work on it? Macha, it's your backyard, so you only have to work on it, no? Silly fellow. What? Why will I work on you? Hey, shut up and work. Hey, work. Oh, that's just classic Britain. Anyway, after the Charter Act of 1833, you don't need to know what that is. All you need to know is the East India Company lost its trade monopoly with China, so they stopped. That means they weren't the only ones exclusively trading, and their trade relations basically failed. To deal with this, the Tea Committee was established. Yes, another government institution for tea was established a year later to extract tea seeds, techniques, and resources from the Chinese. The mission though was not quite successful. Basically, this is an example in British desperation. They will do anything for tea at this point. Invade continents, grow drugs, all for chai time. Uska kya? Uska kya? However, as you know the famous quote, fortune favors white people. At the end, the British got their way. But how they did it is actually the story of doom. In 1843, Robert Fortune, a Scottish horticulturalist, yes, that is also a profession that you can pursue after BTech. He went on a, as we call it, solo trip to China to study its tea plantations. 3 years later, he returned and consecutively published a book on the same. And we have a manuscript of it in our office. Let me show it to you. Oh yeah. Now to get a job with the East India Company is very difficult. Why do you think that you're the perfect man for this job?
sir, myself skilled in all this robbery, thievery, immoral behavior, pickpocket. Sir, since childhood I was one KD fellow, sir.
Please take this right. They actually hired him on the spot, gave the amazed man 500 pounds per annum. He was set to perform the Great British Tea Heist.
Yeah.
So the British at this point have found their vigilante. Get it? Vigilante. No. I'm sorry. And to remind you guys, his name was literally Rob Fortune. Like, speechless. Talk about being born for a role.
Oh, he'll rob people's fortune one day. Rob fortune vechikalama.
And if he was gonna sneak into China, he needed a disguise. So what did he do? He went to Tirupati. No, but actually, he shaved his head in order to blend in with the other Chinese monks. Am I fitting in? And after an exhausting 3-month expedition, Rob returned to Shanghai from the estates and he wrote to his employers informing them of the following.
Macha, I got the greens.
Okay, that may be a little altered. The actual message reads as, I have much pleasure in informing you, he wrote, that I have procured a large supply of seeds and young plants which I trust will get safely to India. And with all this stolen tea, they came back and started planting it in India. And over the years, Indian tea quickly topped the market in Britain as the best because, well, circle jerking. I'm serious, the British hyped Indian tea so much because it was on their home turf. They started dissing Chinese tea and all, saying things like, My tea has elaichi. Your tea is adachi. But the truth is not far from fiction. Just look at this advertisement that they published. Indian teas are purer. Indian teas are more aromatic. Indian teas are stronger. Indian teas are cheaper. Indian teas are more wholesome and are better in every respect than Chinese teas.
Bhai sahab.
They're talking like they got out of a toxic relationship with China and got into a healthier one with India, while forgetting that they were the toxic ones.
Yeah.
But none of this actually answers how it became popular in India, and the answer lies in chai. Anana, ingonne. You see, back in India, the Darjeeling Himalayan Railway, which opened in 1878, was symbiotically rooted to the growth of Indian tea. The first major experiment of the Indian Tea Association, yes, another government body. Why do you guys fix corruption? You can deal with tea later. Their experiment to globalize Indian tea began on Indian railways. Basically the ancestor of the IRC, TC. It was after World War I that Indian and Eurasian vendors started coming to railway stations with kettles and with stoves and everything and started making tea on the platforms. Began selling tea at the historic railway stations of Bengal, Punjab and the frontier provinces. Wow. The Tea Association prided itself that a better cup of tea could be in general had at the platform tea stalls than in the first class restaurant cars on the trains. So I just have one question at this point. What happened to our railway chai? Now it's like water but it's brown color. Like,
Sachi mein, every time I go.
Guys, this is the opposite of started from the bottom, now we are here. But this is the story of how fortune stole and gave to the British Empire eventually became into this hybrid drink in India, where first we started adding a little bit of sugar, then we started adding milk, and then it became chai as we know it. And over time, from small town railway stations to first class tea compartments, tea became the iconic symbol of a typical Indian train journey. And this transformed a nation of previously teetotalers into a gigantic mass of tea drinking Indians whose primary problem in life now is losing their Parle-G inside the tea.
Everyone.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Things like this really interest me, and I'm so glad to have found a tribe of people who enjoy the same kind of obscure shit that I do. Also, shout out to Skilling for sponsoring this video. If you are looking to upskill yourself and find a good job, then I would suggest starting with the link in my description. You also get free career counseling sessions and 50% off if you register using it. And the next one, bye, eat vegetables, bye.
ट्रेड और उसके बदले में ये ना हमारे हिस्ट्री में एक्चुअली ये वाला था, मतलब इतना बड़ा नहीं, इट वाज जस्ट लाइक एक पैराग्राफ या 3-4 पैराग्राफ बस थे ऐसे, बट इन ईयर ऐसा सुनते हुए ऐसा लग रहा है कि भाई साहब हमारे जिंदगी में चाय ऐसी घुल गई थी, ऐसे मतलब आया था हमारे इंडिया में चाय, एंड नाउ इट्स द लार्जेस्ट ड्रिंकिंग टी कंज्यूमिंग पीपल इन द कंट्री, इन द वर्ल्ड, नॉट इन द कंट्री बट इन द वर्ल्ड. और निर्मल पिल्लाई इनका जो द वे ही एक्सप्लेन्स, मजा आ जाता है, सच्चे में मजा आता है यार. ऐसा लगता है आई एम गेनिंग समथिंग नॉलेज, लेकिन इन वे टू मच डिफरेंट वे दैट इज फुल ऑन एंटरटेनिंग. मुझे बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा लगा ये सुनकर. The way he explained everything. यहाँ पे एक था कि चाइना ने ब्रिटेन को लाइक ये कर दिया, रिजेक्ट कर दिया, और इंडिया ने 2 चाय मंगाया और उसके बाद दे दिया लाइक ब्रेकअप सीन, यू नो, अंडरस्टैंड. That one was really nice. So yeah, that is it for today. अगर वीडियो आपको पसंद आई तो लाइक कर देना, नीचे कमेंट करके बताना कि कैसा लगा, और आपको ऐसे और वीडियोस चाहिए वो भी कमेंट करके बता दो. इस वीडियो को शेयर कर दो, नीचे दिए गए व्हाइट सब्सक्राइब बटन को वो भी क्लिक कर देना, और मेरा इंस्टा आईडी नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन में दिया गया है, सो प्लीज फॉलो दैट टू. थैंक यू.